we're going through this huge transformation. And it's crazy to me that from where this team was a year ago to, like, everyone didn't think Jalen Hurts could read a defense. You know, like, no one was going to catch a football ever again. I'm sitting here yip-yapping about Miles Sanders, and it's just like, poof, it doesn't exist. Now it's just like the details. And when everyone knows there's stuff to clean up. It's the first 2 weeks of the season. It's just the potential of this team is in the dance to win a Super Bowl, and there is no doubt about it, and everyone is on the same page. And I think that freaks everyone out. Right? We're back to that same old Philadelphia crap again. We're like, oh, they're too good. It can't be this good, right?
Yeah, no, it's
kind of the state.
It is funny because for me, I am getting excited. Of course, I'm getting excited. Are you kidding me? Like, this isn't quite. It's not quite the Panthers game in 2017. It's not that, but there could be a moment like that along the way. You know what I mean? It's like I'm starting to really believe that this can be an actual Super Bowl winner, and it's really cool to have that kind of feeling because what happened that year, it was all these guys that you didn't expect that came into the team started to click. Mm-hmm. And that's what's happening in enough places right now. Like, we talked about Marcus Epps a lot. I had no idea what to make of it. I bitched about safety all offseason. What happens? Marcus Epps ends up being good for now. Yep. You know, they've added Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. We're going to see where he goes, but I like what he brings to the table as a player. Kaiser White has been really good so far, coming in as a linebacker that we didn't have expectations for.
Still hasn't been traded yet by Howie Roseman, so all things are good.
So when everything is starting to move in that kind of way, you know what I mean? It was just like that's what happened that year. They were healthy. All the guys that they signed just happened to hit. The coaching was good. It all came together, and they won the whole thing. Is that going to happen this year? Obviously, it's a long way to go, but all the signs from the beginning of the season, they're as good as they can be.
Yeah, and, like, it's to me, there is no, like, where's the regression part? Or where's the, hey, what's up, Patty? There is
Pat from the Nosebleeds popping by.
Being wonderful. Thank you so much. Oh, look at all these wonderful samples. That
and what do we have here?
This is the white lager.
And it's coming with nachos. Yeah, we've been eating wings and Bolivian pretzel sticks.
Bolivian.
And, no, Bavarian.
Bavarian. I'm just having fun. I can't even believe that came out of my mouth.
It's so good. So, yeah, I mean, and shout out to the staff at Iron Hill who's just been filling us up with beer and delicious food. And it's been so much fun to sit here all day and just have a good time. Yeah, have a pretzel stick, man, please. I downed one of those as soon as we sat down pretty much. I just, like, piece by piece, you got some cheese, you got some spicy mustard. So it's all phenomenal. But that's what the early, like, all the people that are hesitating, this is the whole point of the early stage of the season. That's what all of this is for. You're trying to evaluate, all right, what is the coaching strategy for the overall season? Do they have a good idea of what this is supposed to be? Are they making the most of it? Are they not? They're making the most of it right now. You can, like, I don't know what, I'm a nitpicker to some degree, and I can't nitpick. I can't do it. It's not, there's nothing there offensively. I don't have it. So the only other thing you do is you look at the defense now and figure out, okay, how can they get more? And, like, I'll say this. If you told me 2 weeks ago that what we would be talking about is whether or not the defensive line can put it together, I would not be worried. I wouldn't be worried. Look at all these guys, all these talented players all up and down. I know it's not working early the way that we want. Like Hassan Reddick, it could come. I can see him going off for 2 sacks in a game, 3 sacks. I still think it can happen. So, like, but him, Fletcher Cox gave you some life last week. Hargrave did. Jordan Davis got more snaps, and he was an impact player early on downs. That's a great place to be. But Milton Williams still. Like, there's so much talent.
Very underrated, by the way, first 2 weeks of the season, Milton Williams.
Yeah, so it's just they have so much talent. A lot, like 85% of this team is working right now at a very high level, and you really can't ask for more.
Well, and is there something to, and I'll bring it back up again, because it's the Sealski article. Like, if you want to be worried about this team, what, like, we're 2 weeks into the season, you just need to see more. I guess, what do you need to see more of? I would like that point to be made, but those points aren't being made. It's just remembering a time like, hey, you remember when the Eagles started out 3-0 with Carson Wentz in 2016, and then it went bad? I'm like, well, yeah, because it was Carson Wentz. And, like, that team wasn't ready. And now you're 2-0. You've got a hot quarterback. Like, you saw the big jump from year 1 to year 2. Yes, and the difference between Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts, like, in the ceiling is ego. Plain and simple. That's it. He's the gunslinger. Here's the smart kid. Smart kid's going to keep winning. Smart kid's going to keep developing. Smart kid's going to stay in the film room and keep continuing to get better. Keep preaching the same things in the locker room and keep saying, hey, even this one this week where it looked like it and he still lit up and he's like, yeah, but let's go have some fucking fun right now. Like, yes. Yes, that is exactly what everyone should be doing. Like, yes, there's things to clean up, but ooh. And that's not going to stop. Like, if they keep continuing to game plan and Jalen keeps being smart, there is no road other than the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
Unless you choke hardcore in the divisional round or whatever it is. Like, Dallas is falling apart exactly like we thought they would. The Giants are 2-0. We know why they're 2-0. Like, I don't know. And everybody in the NFC is exactly how you described this offseason.
So, yeah,
what are you worried about?
You're lined up. And it's funny, too. I hate the 2016 comparison. It's an awful comparison. Brand new coaching staff, year one, first year for your rookie quarterback. They weren't as talented. This team is way more talented than the 16 team. It's not close.
Yeah, remember, DGB doesn't exist here.
Yeah, like it's just Jordan Matthews.
Yeah,
we were talking about that. Was like was that run number 3 for Jordan Matthews? I mean, seriously, like what are we talking about? It's just such a joke.
Yeah, like it should be. Hey, this squad's doing so well, and Dallas Goedert's barely been used. Hey, Devontae Smith finally got into the game plan yesterday, and outside of that, everything else has barely been used. Miles Sanders in the running game is barely being used. How is that, like, not ever going, oh, my God, they're not relying on the run game at all?
And by the way, with all that balance, they are the number 2 rushing offense in football right now.
Yeah, because they're
number 2.
They're scoring points, and they're closing out in the end. That's it. And even Nick Sirianni said today they pulled off the gas. So there you go. His fault. Now we know. Wasn't Jalen, wasn't everybody else like, hey, let's just cruise here and not make a mistake. Never fucking do that again. Mm-hmm. We move on, and now it'll be 31-7 the next time around or whatever it is. Like, this isn't a team that's just going to go, nope, let's not prepare anymore, and we're just going to go high five and whatever. You want to know why that 2016 team didn't stick? Because Carson Wentz didn't learn fast enough. So, like, it's another, I hate the comparison all around. I hate just like, hey, remember when that thing happened? Yeah, it was with a different coaching staff. We realized there are a bunch of D-holes. I don't know what a D-hole is, but we're going to define that
Well, I know what it is, but
it's
I don't think it's the time for now. I'm eating, John.
Yeah,
but,
I'm
sorry. Like, you look at what that is. So that comparison stinks. You just look at who they are, what's going on with them right now, who are they playing against in the league. Like, I don't know when you want to get in the schedule. We can do that soon, but
we can definitely do that.
All right, yeah. I mean, it's just it's all relative to the moment.
And here's more or less, like, we've been circling around this, and I thought Taylor Credatis brought up a fantastic question. If you flip Hurts and Burrow, what happens? Like, I know what happens with Burrow. He's going to be amazing. He's going to go win a Super Bowl. But if you put Hurts in Cincinnati right now, what do you think would be happening?
I think he struggles a lot. I really do. I mean, because you're asking him.
I think he plays better than Joe Burrow.
He's got to run a lot. As Swoop is in the house.
Hey, Swoop!
There he is.
What's up, see? Just as described. There's the headphones right there. It's amazing.
Looking
Swoop's
sharp.
here. He's going to be here until 7, along with the Eagles cheerleaders. If you can't, see us on the podcast, Swoop is it's to the 9s today. It's just looking amazing with the headphones.
Yeah, and if you're looking for an autograph from the cheerleaders, you have one person in front of you in line. So
he's taking over the room.
Yeah, he is.
There you go.
Swoop is taking over the room.
It's hard not to.
He comes in, and he is the superstar, as he should be. Just like, I think Hurts would look like a superstar in Cincinnati. Even given the offensive line, I think he'd look okay.
I think his legs would help them float a little bit more.
That's what I mean.
I think he would prop them up a little bit, but I don't think he saves them. Because if you're asking him to throw deep all the time with that team, you're playing a really aggressive offense. I just don't think that's where he is.
Yeah, I still think they're 0-2. I'm just saying I think he plays better.
Yeah, I think he plays a little better, too. He's like, Burrow's a good athlete, but Jalen's a better runner. It's not close.
What do you think,
he'd look like Mahomes in the Tampa Bay Super Bowl.
There you
just
go. Yeah, that's what I imagine.
No, just running for his life.
Yeah.
Or throwing a little Kyler in there, too, right? Just like, because you have to at that point.
Like he's leaping off, like he's about to land, and he's still throwing the ball.
Yeah, exactly. So, and let's get into the schedule, because I think that'll kind of emphasize the point you've been trying to drive home and, like, into my brain more or less, is I mean, I want to resist it as much as possible. And I'm even being a hypocrite because now I'm going, you can't say 15 wins after week 2, right?
I can say 15 wins after week 2. 15 wins. 15 wins.
See, but
Pat
Patrick
O'Leary,
was saying.
Are you in on 15 wins?
I was saying that was his prediction. 15-2, 15-2.
There we go. That's what's up.
I think we've got to relitigate the schedule with the remaining 15 games.
All right.
And let's just see where the juice is here because I forget what I had for lunch today, so I don't even remember what's after Arizona.
Right. Well, you're eating wings and pretzels and a Philly favorite right now.
Thank you.
All from Iron Hill. So, all right, let's go to this week, Washington.
Yeah.
Win.
I mean, that's a win, and we're gonna hang out with Allison and make Jello shots on Friday, and we're gonna get into why
that's
it's
be
such
great.
a win. But yes.
Yeah. All right. So that's a win. Jacksonville.
Win.
Arizona.
Loss.
You're a criminal. Dallas.
Great time, but a loss.
Dallas without Dak.
Win.
Okay. Pittsburgh Steelers.
Win.
Texans.
Win.
Commanders again.
Win. How many do we have? 2. Sorry, I'm losing track.
A lot. We have 1 loss. Let's count it that way. Eagles Colts.
Eagles. What am I even thinking about?
There you go. and it's funny because I remember you said the Colts were a better roster before the season. So right now,
Matt Ryan is a dumpster fire.
It has changed.
Yeah.
Green Bay Packers.
Win.
All right. Tennessee Titans.
Win.
Giants.
Loss.
All right. Bears.
Win.
Cowboys.
Loss.
Saints.
Win.
Giants again.
Win.
It's 3 losses.
3 losses in the next 15 games.
You're officially at 14-3.
Yeah, see, I told you couldn't get to 15-2.
All right. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take 14-3 from you.
Patrick O'Leary, you okay with 14-3 instead of 15-2? No. He says no.
See? There you go, Pat. Demand greatness, okay? Demand greatness at all times.
We don't lose to the Cowboys once this season.
Wow. Well, I mean, yeah.
There we go.
I don't know.
Let's send Mike McCarthy. If they beat Dallas on Christmas Eve, which leads to Mike McCarthy getting fired, can you imagine? Can you imagine? That would be so wild.
And by the way,
you don't think? I think that defense carries them a little bit. Like Michael Parsons on Sunday was insane.
He's getting Defensive Player of the Year, second best Defensive Player in the year or in the league conversations right now.
It's almost like Giannis against NBA players. Like, no, this guy is different than all these other guys.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't fair.
I didn't want to believe it either, but he's the truth. He's the truth. It just is what it is.
The best Penn State player that's come to the NFL of all time, right? There's nobody else?
Yeah, since Tony Hunt was
converted to fullback. But yeah, okay.
Right.
So I'm with Taylor. That's why I think there's at least 1 loss with Dallas. I actually kind of hope it's at home and we get to celebrate. And by the way, if you want to come with us, like if you want to come and hang out Christmas Eve, phillysportstrips.com/bell, still available right now, especially if you want to come tailgate to any of the things that we're doing. I think that's not crazy, though. I don't think a 14 wins is now out of the picture at all.
No, which means
that schedule is ridiculously easy.
It's really easy. It's a really easy schedule. So if that's where we're thinking now, I mean, this division could be an absolute runaway, and it's all about who is it in the NFC that keeps you honest so you're fighting for that 1 seed. Like, you just want to fight for home field advantage through the rest of the way to stay sharp and all that kind of stuff. So who's that going to be? I mean, look, you want to talk about Tampa for a second? Because it's weird down there. It's weird.
Oh, it's always weird.
Bruce
down there,
Arians
baby.
is suddenly on the sideline, even though Tom Brady fired him and put him in the front office. So he's hanging out on the sideline now. He's getting involved in all these altercations and yelling at players. Mike Evans just got suspended for a game. They've had injuries like crazy, including on the offensive line, a lot. Tom Brady looks like he's a dead man. Have you seen his face and how thin and miserable he looks? There's a picture going around. It looks really bad. This on the same week where they were saying, oh, Tom Brady's going to take off every Wednesday because, his personal life is probably a mess, is what it sounds like. And then he practiced on Wednesday today. So I don't know what's going on in Tampa. I don't know what's going on with Tom Brady. I don't think any of it is good. They've been getting by on the defense more than the offense. I think that thing's going to crater sooner rather than later. So
Scotty Miller thinks he can get away with fighting Lattimore.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You didn't see that?
Scotty was having a game, right? So he must have been feeling it. He's like, let me go after him.
I think he's out for the next game for suspension.
I know Evans is.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Evans.
Yeah, Evans.
Okay,
yes.
yeah, absolutely. Like that is probably one place I would start to look to pick off is the Bucs, because Tom Brady in this thing is not going to work because of what happened with the Dolphins, and I think everyone's just using the wife excuse, and it's probably happening too. Do you think Tom Brady cares? Tom Brady doesn't care.
I think if he's getting divorced, I think he cares about that. I think that's one of the few things that can actually affect him.
No, affect him absolutely, yes. But like, regardless, I just feel like most of these teams that were built really well last year, we've already mentioned a few of them. The Bengals are one of them. The Titans are another one. The Bucs are crumbling, it looks like, in the opening season, and that is fantastic news because Vince Quinn, I want to relitigate this.
Okay.
It's pass rusher season, baby. Mm-hmm. That's all this is. And I want to look for the best pass rushers now on the Bucs, on the Bengals, and everyone else. The Titans, I know they have some. And if they're really going to reset this thing, like, the Bucs have to make a decision on whether they want to go and tank and go get, whatever quarterback comes out of this draft, and I'm sure there's a couple others who are thinking that way too. I would probably hope that the Rams crumble at some point too, because they don't really look the same. The Cardinals are another one. I know you've kind of thrown out, or somebody's thrown out J.J. Watt, which I think is hilarious.
That's pretty funny.
But I mean,
I'd take him.
I would not.
I would take him.
I think he's poison.
Depends on the price. But
for the same reason, Russell Wilson, go listen to the other podcast for that. But I think it's all about that. I think it's nothing but pass rushers, and that's all I think about. If Josh Sweat is your best one right now, that is it's great for him because he keeps improving, but it's not good.
Yeah.
It's not strong enough. It's like having just Devontae Smith right now.
Yeah, and it's tough because Von Miller signed a multi-year deal with the Bills, so you're not getting Von Miller. You can't
And the
just
Bills
roll
are going
that.
to the Super Bowl, so
Yeah, they are. So he's going to stay put. But yeah, some of the other teams, I mean, honestly, you could look
Broncos,
at Pittsburgh.
sorry, forgot to mention them.
Pittsburgh just got lucky too. TJ Watt, I mean, you're not getting TJ Watt. That'd be insane. But he's got a torn pec, or he's at least missing significant time. They're not doing very well. They might not make it to the playoffs either because Baltimore's probably going to win that division if I had to guess.
Yep.
So with everything going the way it is, maybe there's somebody on Pittsburgh that you could pick up. Like there's going to be a lot of that to discuss, and that's the nice thing right now when you consider the Eagles' options. Salary cap stuff has gotten better. They have some space right now. You got 2 first-round picks. You can get whoever you want. You just can. Middle of the season, if you're doing it, any player that's on an expiring deal, you can get anybody you want. So, and that's because for now it's let's get a pass rusher. Through just reality of the season, there is a chance that somebody gets a significant injury. You can go replace that injury and just keep on moving. And this team can afford a major injury or so. You know what I mean? Like they're so talented, and that's why you try to stock the roster as much as you can. And that's why you try to do it in that window before the quarterback's getting paid $45 million or whatever they're going to make, because you want other players on the team. So the Eagles are built for that. They're ready for it, and it's a beautiful situation to be in.
Yep, between the draft capital, the cap space, they can do, like you said this, but they can do anything that they want right now. Like, I actually think because of Epps and all that working out, that's exactly why you can pour more things into major resources. You can overspend if you want to. Like, if we are gearing up for that, 14 and wins, 13 wins, anywhere from 12 to 15, I mean, this team is buying. Mm-hmm. And unless, and maybe some of the smarter draft nerds can help us out here too, unless there's somebody in the 2023 class, D-end or D-tackle-wise, that is just, absurd. You have to hold on to one of those things. I am firing the barrel here. I'm going full aggressive Howie Roseman, and what else are you waiting for? This is it. I have never seen another simpler window into the Super Bowl other than what we're witnessing right now in front of us.
It's as wide open as it's ever been. The NFC's terrible.
Yeah.
It is objectively terrible. It is a god-awful conference. So you got to take advantage of it.
Speaking of god-awful, this is something I only saw the headlines of, and I need you to explain it to me. I remember talking to our good friend Brian McKeon a long time ago about Kenny Golladay, and his line was, Kenny Golladay is a good enough, great enough wide receiver to be a franchise guy, Daniel Jones or whoever, and apparently After the first 2 games with Brian Dable, which tells me everything you need to know about Kenny Galladay. If you can't hang out in that offense, there's an issue with you. What was his meltdown today?
Yeah, so Kenny Galladay had a little bit of a problem. So here's what happened. They were talking to him. He played 2 snaps this week. 2.
Wow.
Which, for a guy that got like a 4-year, $72 million contract, that ain't good enough.
Not great.
So they asked him, like, Kenny, are you thinking about a trade? And he's like, well, I'm not going to comment on anything like that yet, which is his way of saying, yes, I'm probably going to be asking for a trade at the deadline. That should be the case. Then
Denver Broncos, obvious choice, right?
Well,
I will laugh all throughout State Street here if he goes to the Broncos.
I will say
officially close the book on the Denver Broncos if Galladay goes.
I don't know the state of Jerry Jeudy, who has an injury. I don't know how bad it is. I know KJ Hamler missed a game last week, I believe. So
They're gonna need somebody.
I don't know, maybe. And Russ likes to chuck it, so Galladay can do that. But yeah, it's they followed up a little bit more of the conversation. So you're not playing much, and how do you feel about that? And he was basically like, I should be playing regardless, which is regardless of a competition for whoever the best player is right now and putting in the most effort. He should be playing regardless. So, not great. Not great.
That makes my heart a little warm.
Can I make your heart warm with some nachos, by the way?
Please.
Pat, you want to trade? I'll give you a pretzel stick.
Over there?
Do you want any more wings before we move then? So,
Patrick, you need to eat those wings.
I'll give you a pretzel stick and some wings. You guys can finish that off, and then if you want to pass us the nachos. Because I saw those sitting over there. I was like, oh, buddy.
Sire, would you mind a clean plate? Because I want these...
yeah, I got 2 right here. So here we go. Ooh, hot plate.
Look at that.
Hot plate. We're good. Okay.
The right amount of jalapeno, the right amount of the white crumble cheese, which is totally escaping my mind.
Oh, blue cheese. No, cojita. That's probably cojita.
Oh, yeah.
Is that how you say it?
I'm not sure.
Cotija? I tried. I know what it is.
It's delicious, and it's going to end up on my plate.
Yep. Oh, yeah, buddy.
I'm going to get this last fat guy right there. Oh, my God. What an amazing
That
nacho.
is magic.
So, again, we're hanging out at the Iron Hill Brewery here in Media. It is Dining Under the Stars night, which means they block off the entire street. You can just kind of go in, hang out, in and out. It's a lot of fun. And, again, there is still time. We're here until we're broadcasting for another 40 minutes. And that means you can get any one of these 4-packs of Iron Hill Philly Favorite IPA. And if you're wondering, like, John, I'm not an IPA drinker, guess what? Neither really am I, and these things are all-day drinkers.
Unbelievably good.
Unreal.
Unbelievably good.
We're sitting here drinking all the samplers as well, but 4 of these bad boys will be with you. And by the way, if you are watching this right now or watching on the replay, listening to on the podcast, let's do this. The first 2 people that text us at 215-509-5833, give me the beer. With an exclamation point.
Yes, exclamation point.
Going to be a huge stickler for the exclamation point.
Caps is up to you, but exclamation point.
We will send you a $50 gift card to Iron Hill Brewery, which you can purchase for to-go for dining in or wherever. And that's it. The best gift card that we could possibly give is you can experience all this stuff and go call us liars if you think we're wrong. But
you might be thinking
awesome.
like, oh, well, you're in media. I'm not by media. They have like 17 locations in the area.
20.
Yeah, there's so many locations around the Philadelphia area. So
Center City.
Yeah.
All around Delco.
I mean, they've even mentioned like North Carolina. So you know what?
Yes.
If you're watching in North Carolina and you've got an Iron Hill close enough, text it. 215-509-5833. What was it? Get me the beer with an exclamation point?
Give me the beer.
Give me the beer with an exclamation
point. And a $50 gift card to you will be sent wherever you need it. Yeah, Greensboro, North Carolina, I believe. So if you're down there, shout out. And maybe we should do a remote from Greensboro, North Carolina. Let's see if there's any Eagles fans down there.
I want to do remotes from everywhere. My long-term goal with this is I want to do a remote from Australia one day.
Yeah, next.
One week. I want, because it's supposed to be the Eagles like country. So I would love to go out and just meet an Australian Eagles fan group and say what's up and like just enjoy Australia. I would love to see that.
Plus, would really love to get behind Aussie rules football. So if there's like a football for football swap, and we can, I believe,
Australian rules football is amazing.
Don't they have an Eagles team? in Australian
I
rules
believe
football?
there is a team. I think they're a black and white color scheme. I'd have to double check that, but
Man, maybe we just have to do Eagles. As long as that's cool with Ninks, who is our official Australian ambassador since he's coming out here for the Cowboys game on that Sunday night, which is blanking in my memory. See, I can't remember.
In October.
In October, right?
Yeah, I think it's like October 24th.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that range.
So if you know anything about Aussie rules football, get in our Discord and maybe we can do some. So, yeah, I mean, like Jordan Mailata's got to know a little bit about that, right? Even though he's a rugby player.
He knows. Yeah, he's got to know enough about that. I figure he played at some point. Because that game is crazy, man. Australian rules football. It's a big oval field, and you can kick the ball from all these different distances for different points. But you can also touch it in the end zone. They lift each other up like rugby. It's crazy, man. I mean, the momentum is out of control on that game. They score like 1 billion points.
What do you think, by the way, is what's the move for Dallas Goedert? Is it still screen and yak? And like that's going to be his best asset in this offense? I just wish there was a little more of him in the middle. But at the moment I say that, I go, well, it's signed A.J. Brown for.
No, it's happening though. Like he's not getting his catches right now in the middle of the field, but he's getting them on the sideline with space. And that's the key. Dallas Goedert right now, more yards per reception than any other tight end in the league. He's getting 14 yards a catch right now.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, he's crushing it. And part of that is it's going to be yards after the catch factored into that. You know what I mean? It's yard per reception, so it's everything involved in that catch. But that's what he's doing right now. And thinking about the Eagles' offense and why we were talking about like being so excited about it earlier and the coaching and all the things go into it, this is a yak team. Mm-hmm. It's just so well built for it. Devontae Smith after the catch, A.J. Brown after the catch, Dallas Goedert after the catch, Quez after the catch. Like, all those guys can make stuff happen. And when you're just scheming all this stuff where they're running across the field and picking for each other and just have a foot or two of space, that's enough to get another 5, 6, 7 yards. And teams just can't stop it right now, and it's a beautiful thing to see.
And that would almost make me think the more that you could lean on Dallas for in particular matchups or games or whatever it is, I actually do think the running game becomes more and more limited, at least in the first 2 quarters. Like I think they do have a running game through Dallas Goedert right now. Does that make sense? Like it's part of that extension because it's just a simple flip out to him and then go enjoy the space. I mean, most of it has just been screens. It's awesome.
After the catch, because I forget who said this the other day, but somebody was like, yeah, Dallas Goedert is like the perfect blend between Zach Ertz and Brent Selleck. And I was like, yep. Brent Selleck used to truck people, man. He was awesome. Every time he got the ball, it was like 5 different guys would have to jump on him in order for him to go down. So yards after the catch were great, but the movement wasn't quite the same. Mm-hmm. Ertz is all movement. And so it's this beautiful blend. I mean, what a great second-round pick overall.
Oh, just like amazing. The whole
Eagles,
draft class.
Their eye for tight ends is just so absurdly good. Yep. I can't imagine whatever Tyree Jackson is for the times they've seen him because they keep him around. I mean, the tore his ACL. They could have easily injury settlement. We'll see you later. They're like, no, this guy's got to come back. Yeah. So I can't wait to see what he's got in store. But like him, Jack Stoll has been really solid whenever they need him for blocking, the occasional catch here and there. Like, it's just such a well-built unit. But, yeah, Goedert right now he's legitimately one of the top 5 tight ends in football.
He is. And I would say this. Watch this over the next couple of weeks, and you just see if it's just like the same stuff that we've noticed before or if it's a little turned up. He is, like, really pissed off this season. If you notice that, the first 2 games, he is, like, in whoever is covering his face and, like, won't let up. He is good. Have you noticed this
I have not noticed that. I'm going to go back and watch it now.
Fucking chirping like crazy.
Good.
Shout out to his family that, by the way, came out on Monday night. I know went to the game, and they kind of, I don't know. It feels like they feel this, like something's on the line here, and I don't know what it is. Maybe it is this, that. It's time for me to be the number 1 guy. Who knows? Maybe Jason and Travis got together and be like, hey, man, you're better than him. Just wait your time. Or I don't know what it is, but like it just seems like something, but somebody put something into his head this year that you just need to go kill everybody.